Hey there, just wanted to make a video just on presents. um, I've forgotten what I've not really planned what I'm going to say, so this is just off the tongue. But yeah, spreading from that, creating from that, which isn't a personal thing, which is unity itself. So you're creating from that place, like um, the, where where everything is united, where everything is one with each other. So there's no like separation. It's just unity, which when you're creating from that space, it blasts the heart wide open, because you're creating from the heart, not from the ego. So you're creating from that place, which is worth losing everything for, like giving up pleasure, giving up possessions, giving up everything for that is well worth it, because it's like the source of well-being, the source of fulfillment. It is fulfillment itself, so which is what we all long for. So when you're creating from that place, you're creating from unity. So everything you do reflects that, and you're spreading that emanation as well, like through interactions, through even like small things like seeing someone at the shop. Like you're spreading that. Like we don't often think like our emanation has that much of an impact, but it really does. Like if you think of it this way, if you go into a shop and you're angry or whatever, and you even that interaction with the shopkeeper or whatever, that has an impact on them. Like you may not think it does, but it does. Like everything creates a ripple effect. So if you're creating from that place, you're spreading that emanation, whatever particular emanation it is. Whereas if you're creating from unity, you're spreading that emanation, which is unconditional love, which could have a massive impact on someone. Like even if you like walk past someone in the street and you spread that, think of how that could change that person's life just from that small interaction or whatever. Creating from that place, as opposed to like from the separate self, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, like, because if that's your reality, that's your reality. But everyone has the capacity to create from unity, because it's what we are, it's what we all are. So if you're spreading from that, like, it has such a huge impact on people's lives. Like, you may not think it does, but it does. It really does. Like, because that small, like I said before, that small interaction could change someone's life. Like that could, like, someone could be then like, just from that, just from being in someone's presence like that, from unity consciousness, you're then passing that on, sort of thing. Like, because it's like it's creating from like the highest, what can you say, highest intention, basically. Like, when I say highest, I don't mean like better, it's not like that. But from the source itself, if something's coming directly, there is no higher sort of intention than that. Whereas everything else is based on like separation. So whenever there's separation, even if it's good separation, like positive thinking or whatever, there's still separation there. So you can never be truly connected with someone if it's coming from a separate reference point. When that reference point isn't there, there is no higher intention, because you're creating from a connected reference point, like unity reference point. So it's like coming from, it's not coming from you really. It's just like you're completely connected with that person in the interaction. So then, yeah, it's like you're spreading that, which is unconditional love, which is oneness, which is whatever you want to call it. You're spreading from that. So that changes. Yeah, that's sort of the. Don't really know where this video is going, but as you can see, but just but spreading from that speaks for itself, because it's like the well-being that comes from that, and the well-being that others get from that is, do you know what I mean? If we're all living from that, just think of how the world will benefit from that, because then there's no there'd be like lots of like arguments over politics would be sort of minimised, and stuff like this wouldn't be even like relevant anymore, because there wouldn't. This all comes from the illusion of being separate, like, you know, I mean, political fights, political parties opposing each other, stuff like this is like. I'm not saying like there wouldn't be difference of opinion, like if everyone was living from the awakened state, but it wouldn't be like, there certainly wouldn't be wars over it, do you know what I mean? There wouldn't be like people dying for their beliefs, or because it'd just be seen through how silly it is going to war with someone because they have a different belief to you, because it's just, what is that? It's just an opinion in your head that's not even who you are. It's like, it's like a thought, basically. So people, that's how most wars start, though, isn't it? Like people willing to die for their beliefs, like because they feel they're right and they're justified for their reasons, because they have justification in their head over why they're doing something. But when it's seen that that is not who you are, it's just seen as silly, because it's just like, yeah, you can have thoughts, you can have opinions, like that's not saying that should be completely got rid of, but you no longer like identify with that being who you are. So you just see it as, oh, that's a thought I have, this is what I believe, but there's no absolute truth in that. Do you know what I mean? There's no absolute truth in any thought or belief, is there? It's just that as a thought or a belief, really. And it's just like watching a Trump video the other day, and it's just, yeah, it's like it's quite funny, really. It's like seems like quite a nice guy, but sort of the seriousness behind it is quite, yeah, it's funny, but I guess, yeah, yeah.